Okay, so we want to do number 45 out of 9.1 by email request from Kimberly. So on the top, I have a 3x squared minus 2xy. On the bottom, I have 3x squared minus 5xy plus 2y squared. You might notice that there's a 3x squared both top and bottom. If you're thinking about canceling that, you need to not. Why? Because this 3x squared is attached to that minus 2xy stuff, right? This 3x squared is attached to different stuff. So you can't cancel those. They're not a onesie, right? They're not both multiplied by everything on the top and the bottom. So what that means is I need to start factoring. So out of the top, I can factor an x. And I'll be left with a 3x minus 2y. If I distribute the x back in there, I'll in fact get back to here. So that's a good check. On the bottom, I need to run a more robust method. I need to AC factor that stuff. So I got 3x squared minus 5xy plus 2y squared. And I want to think to myself, okay, I need two numbers, and they have to multiply to 6 and add to 5. There. Cool? So two numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 5 are 2 and 3, right? So I'm going to take my 5 in the middle, and I'm going to replace, right? So this is a rewrite, as 3x squared minus 3xy minus 2xy plus 2y squared, right? So I took my middle term and I rewrote it with the two numbers I found. Now I need to factor by grouping. So out of the first two and out of the second two, I need to factor as much as I can. So out of these first two, the 3x squared minus 3xy, I think I can get a 3 and an x. And I'll be left with an x minus y. Out of this other stuff, right, out of minus 2xy plus 2y squared, I can get a minus and a 2 and a y. And I'll be left with a x plus or minus. Let's try minus. Then let's check. Minus 2y times minus y is in fact plus 2y squared. So I know I did that right. If you put a plus in here, you might notice that these are different. That should be a clue that you ought to maybe double check. If you want to double check, right, you distribute everything. Just double check that you had what you started with. So then I look at the x minus y's and I factor those out. So here I'll be left with a 3x minus 2y, right? 3x minus 2y times x minus y. This was the bottom of my fraction that I started with, so I put that in. So I got x times 3x minus 2y over 3x minus 2y times x minus y. Now, where's your onesie? I think your onesie is the 3x minus 2y that's on the top and the bottom, and it is in fact multiplied by the whole top and the whole bottom, so you can onesie those. So everything in blue here is a onesie, that stuff. That reduces to 1, and so you'd be left with an x on the top and an x minus y on the bottom. Boom, done, cool, check. And I think the original problem was that we were trying to cancel those 3x squareds, and that's not allowed because they're attached to these other guys. Cool?